GM, friends, GM. How is everybody today?
GM, what's happening? I'm doing
Whipper,
well, doing really well. How are you, Britt?
doing well. It's a beautiful, sunny, rainy morning here in Colorado. And yeah, stoked to be here with everybody.
Yeah, same, totally.
How are you, Amanda?
Feeling great this morning. Also rainy in Toronto and very smoky still. But yeah, so happy to have the Rep3 team here. I think the badges have been making a splash. And yeah, we're just really excited to hear kind of what the community thinks about them and see if you guys have any ideas for maybe new utilities, new designs, or if you're just like loving what we've got going on already. And yeah, other than that, everything's great.
Right on. Well, I just wanted to say welcome to everybody in the audience today. We have a big crowd already, looks like just shy of 200. So, GM to all of you out there. I will go ahead and kick us off today with some community updates. Normally, I would bounce the ball to Chase or Dylan first, but they are both out of office today. So, no exciting numbers today. Sorry. But community wise, some good stuff going on. So, I think last week, if I remember correctly, we talked a bit about our options for ACX liquidity after the recent proposals that we've had from both Velodrome and Arrakis. And Kevin sort of consolidated some of the feedback we got from the community and is putting together a proposal that he just posted on forum late last night. So he is basically looking for feedback from folks before going to a vote on Snapshot. But after the couple rounds of discussion that we had, place that he landed was sort of that we are not feeling super great about continuing with bribes on Aura. And so he wanted to recommend a short-term solution for transitioning away from bribing on Aura until we can sort of consider the two proposals at hand, the Velodrome and the Arrakis proposal. And so in the meantime, he suggested using the ACX reward locking program to reward staking the ACX liquidity in the balancer pool in Across. So even though it's not really a token that's meant to be bridged, we can still use Across staking to reward ACX for people who hold that token. So that was kind of his short-term suggestion there, and would just love to encourage people to go over to forum and engage with his post before it goes live on Snapshot. If you have any suggestions for Kevin on that, so that's item number one on my list for today. Also, I have an update on committees, I believe. So last week, we sort of wrapped it up with what we think our starting committee ought to be. And so now we are just about ready to start accepting applicants for the first committee, and we'll hold open interviews in this channel after we have given people about a week to look at kind of the open positions that apply for them. And so one of my action items after this call is to post the application form also up on forum. So I think on my end, all of your homework for today is to head over to forum and check that out, both Kevin's liquidity proposal and the committee application form, if you think that that is something that you might want to get involved in. And let's see, I just ponder openly for a quick moment here and make sure I haven't missed anything. I think that's the main stuff. I mean, for anybody new who hasn't had a look around yet, we do have a pretty active, like, just for funsies community, in such that, like, we do a lot of contests in here and give away ACX. So I would encourage anybody new to to go over and check out the contest channel or get involved as a ranger over in Ranger Chat if you're looking to make some friends and hang out. That in my mind goes without saying every week, but maybe I should shout it out since we have a lot of new faces today. So yeah, good stuff in the community this week.
Yeah, I think maybe at the top of the call, we should probably remind everyone, in case there are new faces, like as you mentioned, that at the end of this call, we have a wheel game. So anyone who is present in the stage channel will have the opportunity to win $25 in ACX, which we will send via tip bot if you are our winner. So just like a wheel that will share a screen and spin that, and your name will be there, and hopefully it lands on your name. And even more so, we have a $50 USDC wallet hack game that's created by community member Infinity, and that will happen, I believe, in the contest channel. Infinity can probably like write the details of where he's going to post that, but it'll be somewhere in our Discord after the call is done. Woohoo! Lots of games.
Awesome, nice. So $75 up for grabs today. Love it. Very cool. Well, what's good? What's good in the media front this week, Amanda? Anything new?
Actually, we had such a long coffee chat yesterday. Shout out to everyone who joined, particularly Barry who joined in, and we were just talking about like the revamp of our YouTube videos. And yeah, that's pretty much like what we're focusing on this week, is just changing up the style a bit. I'll send in the link if anyone hasn't looked at our YouTube, but we have like a bunch of like short videos, like under 60-second videos that are more, let's say, like crypto style, TikTok style. So they're maybe like a little bit too busy. So we're looking to like tone it down. And I was just getting some feedback yesterday. So that's about it. I think ECC has been sort of the focus of the week. A lot of huge announcements from a lot of projects. Across is represented at ECC, and ETH Paris, I believe next week that's when that's starting. We have several team members representing both UMA and Across there. So yeah, hopefully we'll have some nice like partnership announcements or new integration announcements coming up. Like these big events usually result in things like that. And then I think everyone's probably a bit more curious on Uniswap X. The one thing that we were just really flattered by, when you look at the white paper that they released, a lot of their design choices were based on Across design. So if we look at some like similarities, like they have a network of fillers, we have a network of relayers. They have the sort of like the repayment system of relayers optimistically repaying the fillers, what they say, fillers optimistically repaying the users, but waiting for like a challenge period. It's like exactly the same as Across. So that was, yeah, very flattering. Our design has been validated. And I guess some people might be a bit curious as to how Across is affected or what this means for Across having like another big player come in like Uniswap with a product like this. So look out for a tweet thread on that later today.
I think between that and some of the data tweet threads that we've been putting out, we've had a lot of good mentions and retweets in the past like week or two on the Across side from some decently big names in the crypto Twitter space. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the CT influencers have been like repping Across these days. So it feels really good. We feel like we're on a high, and I don't think anyone needs to maybe like worry too much about like these sort of announcements. Like Uniswap X is just beta. We've been around almost 2 years. How many times have you heard like an NFT market is the OpenSea killer, and it never ends up happening? So yeah, there's enough room in this world for everyone, and yeah, we'll kind of like address any concerns in a tweet thread a little bit later. But yeah, nothing to be concerned. This is amazing. It's like optimistic validation is the way. Oh, and we knew it, and now it's everyone else kind of knows it. So this is great.
Right on. And also, well, actually, I don't want to take away from Dixie. He'll be joining us shortly, I believe. So I was gonna talk about UBA, but I'll let him chime in on that. Yeah, so maybe I actually don't have anything important to say at this point at this moment, because I was gonna jump in about UBA. That's okay. Amanda, did the data team leave you with any interesting numbers to share today? Or should we just kind of skip the data part of it?
Yeah, what they're working on, I know that we're going to release on Monday, was I think we've been focusing a lot of our data threads on speed. So when we look at like median fill times, across was somewhere crazy like 35 seconds. Stargate is almost double that. And then we have, if we do like direct comparisons on, let's say Polygon, which is a little bit longer for finality risk. We had some like pretty big influencers asking us recently about like how you guys are so fast, but what about Polygon? And we are doing about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Most of them are still a minute, but let's say to be conservative, 1 minute and 30 seconds to and from Polygon. But the other sort of optimistically designed bridge, which is Hop, is 21 minutes. So that is how optimized we are, and we've been sort of driving that point. So a lot of people still don't know that. They don't use aggregators as much as you would think. So they just go with the bridges that they're maybe more familiar with. But now we want to start from next week talking more about price and do some comparisons on what the total bridging cost is for people. I think this is like super important too, because with this airdrop farming, like we all want to believe that the airdrop is going to be more than we're paying, but I don't know if you guys use aggregators. Like Stargate, for example, had the gas is really high compared to across, so people are paying like hefty fees to get involved with the airdrop, which is obviously fine and good, but it'll be interesting to see some comparisons of what people are paying versus what they could be paying on across.
Yeah, I was trying to do some testing a while back to just compare gas fees, like for my own knowledge, so I could be educated enough to talk about it. And when I was trying to bridge with Stargate, I thought we were having like some kind of a gas surge or whatever, because it was like $40 in gas. But when like a bridge with a cross was like $6, it was not that expensive. And I think they just do a lot more computation or data storage within their transactions than we do. They don't have quite the robust off-chain actors, and so their all of their transactions are pretty like costly to execute, and that's just a design difference that is not always talked about. So that's going to be a cool tweet thread to see more.
Oh my, I'm gonna try to dig up that tweet because that was all you. That tweet was such a banger. It did so well. I think they kind of kicked us off on our data focus, to be honest. I gotta find that and share it with everyone because yeah, Brit sent us all these gas comparisons just like internally on Slack. And we're like, I think we need to tweet this out because we couldn't even believe it ourselves, like how cheap across was compared to like the difference was insane, as you said, like 4 or 5x more expensive with other bridges. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, that made me mad. Not that we tweeted it, but just like that was the case. Yeah, that one did well. That was a good one. So very cool. Well, do you think we should hang out for a couple more minutes and wait for Dixie to chime in as he's able to join, or should we go ahead and kick off some Rep3 stuff?
Yeah, I think we have to move on to our guest of the week, Rep3. Everyone, welcome Rep3. I want to see some claps in the chat.
Yeah, so cool to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for hosting this. Man, Across is one of the coolest communities, but everyone here listening already knows that, of course. Very vibrant, very cool. I was just thinking, like, just when we started the call, how awesome the jams were and everything. I love the vibes here. So yeah, thanks for the claps and thanks for the shout outs, everyone. My name's Whipper. I'm joined here with Space Monkey, also known as Aviral, who's the co-founder of Rep3. We hope that you guys are as excited as we are for the Across community to have been partnered up with us. And we hope that at this point, everyone has gone out and claimed their staking badge. Before we dive into everything, I just want to give everyone here like a little mini background about what Rep3 is, just in case anyone is not brought up to speed. And of course, we'd love to take any questions that you might have about Rep3 and the Rep3 tool. But just to give everyone a little summary, Rep3 is a very powerful tool that enables online communities to leverage gamification techniques for enhancing engagement and loyalty. This empowers community leaders to incentivize participation through dynamic NFTs and design gamified journeys across various platforms. So Rep3 facilitates the creation of quests and campaigns that reward members for performing diverse actions such as tweeting, voting, staking, etc. There's a lot that we can unpack here. These rewards consist of these dynamic NFTs, which are distinctive digital assets that adapt to the user's behavior and achievements. So Rep3 integrates with multiple platforms such as Twitter, Discord. We've got a whole bunch, like our V2 is jam-packed. And we essentially monitor and validate users' participations throughout these different platforms. We also integrate and have really cool analytics and insights to help community leaders optimize their entire gamification strategy. So that's like a little small introduction into the Rep3 tool and what we can do. I'll let Avi introduce himself, and then if there's any questions about the badges, we'd love to take some of those. We'd love to get some community discussion around it. It'd be amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us, Britt, Amanda. It's been super long since I was here on the stage, but super glad to be back. And yeah, Vipper already gave a brilliant introduction. So essentially, the core of what we are doing at Rep3 is anyone and everyone who participates in the ecosystem, be it wherever, they should be recognized, they should be acknowledged, and they should be incentivized. That is just the core principle that we are building on top of. It's not just the people I know who farm the most. And airdrops should not be the only mechanism. Everyone should be acknowledged, should be rewarded, and a lot of utility should be built around each and every one of these touch point participation. And with Across, you've seen like a brilliant implementation of the same thing. So it's not just in terms of rewards. There are like plethora of things, and some of which we'll be discussing today on what the utility is going to be and where all these things can come in. And the best part is, along with the community, there's so much that we can explore and just build on top of because of the composability aspect. So in a nutshell, it's a tool for the community, by the community, and it's composable enough to be built on top of along with community.
I actually wanted to ask, thank you both for the introduction. I hope that gives everyone a nice background on Rep3 and really like highlights all the benefits of using a platform like this to just better engage with one another. And I think, like, personally, I love that we are leaning into the Ranger lore. I think that's so much fun. I'm obsessed with the final designs. Like, I can't wait till we show you guys the previous designs too, because they're also incredible. But it just will be fun to see look through the design process and kind of hear what you guys think about previous designs, if you like the ones we went with better, etc. But I have a question for Britt, actually, that I know is a bit of a surprise to the agenda, but this initiative was really pioneered by Britt, and I just wanted to ask, like, what made you like fall in love with this idea, and how did you first like get in touch with the Rep3 team?
Good question. I don't remember how we first got in touch. It might have been Whipper, who was already a community member here, or maybe he just came and hunted us down. I'm not sure. I don't exactly remember the origins, but they wanted to come and basically just do sort of a pitch on Rep3 for the community at the time, because we were talking about incentivization mechanisms and how we would sort of like build up some community loyalty in the DAO and recognize people for their contributions. And so we had them on our community call, and Avi did a demo for us, just to like talk about what we could do. And I thought it was super cool. I had already been thinking about like a tiered system, basically, or like ways that people could sort of level up within the ecosystem, because I think that that's really cool and underutilized within the space. And I liked that this was one badge that could do that, rather than like we still have a Galaxy Oat for all of our community calls here, which is really cool. There's something fun to have like a collection of something, right? Like a collection of marbles or whatever. But I just thought that this was a cooler and more concise way to like visibly see somebody's credentials, or I guess like reputation, basically, within the community. So yeah, I thought it was definitely worth exploring, and this was just one aspect. I actually wanted to do like a full set of badges that would all upgrade based on different things, but we kind of like launched into it with just starting with just one, to try it out and see how it goes and see how it was received by the community. And I'm glad that we chose the one we did. I think that this is a really cool one, but this is just the start of what you could do with Rep3, and I thought that was really enticing, basically, to just like take everybody's activity, both on chain and off chain, and compile it into a badge and see how it grows or potentially diminishes over time. Like if they sort of fall off the bandwagon, that also gets reflected. And I think that is an understated pain point in the community. Not just ours, but like in the crypto community. Onboarding is always like really fun to talk about, but then the part where things get hard is offboarding, and I think that Rep3 is actually a really eloquent solution to that. So, yeah. Long story long.
No,
Thanks for that, Britt. It brings back good memories, actually, because I know that we've been working on this for quite some time. And, you know, one of the things that sort of sets us apart in terms of our capabilities is this idea of this dynamically changing NFT that's constantly morphing depending on user behavior. And it's really unique because some of the wonderful ideas that we talked about in the early stages of our conversations, and one of the beautiful things about this tool, you know, if you recall, Britt, at the beginning, we talked about these ideas that can be implemented down the road about, like, imagine a different tiered level where users are staking X amount, or where users are bridging X amount, and like maybe there's a discounted fee for users that are in a specific tier level, or, you know, Rep3's in conversations with different communities, whether it's, you know, a DEX or whatnot, and they're looking to get higher trading volumes, or if they tap into the Rep3 tool, like how can that be beneficial for their user base? Well, there's discounted tier levels. There's so many different reward programs that you can tap into based on user behavior and based on like what's essentially important for the community, and it's just mind-blowing. And then, you know, there's even like really cool things like with regards to governance that could be tapped into, where, you know, users who show up all the time, that are really passionate about the community, that really care, they show up for community calls, they write blogs, they create content, they create videos. Those are the people that really care about the protocol the most. And imagine being able to reward them with a stronger voting power mechanism or whatnot. All of these different tools are totally they're totally possible with the Rep3 tool. And these are just some of the ideas that we talked about in early stages. And everyone that we talk to about this stuff just gets super, super excited because they see the vision. And Britt is a visionary, actually, because when we originally talked about it at the beginning, she was super stoked and super excited. And I'm glad that she pushed this initiative because we know, number one, it's going to be a success for Across, but just in general, all the wonderful things that can be done down the road just gets me really excited. So yeah, thank you for that, Britt, of course, for giving us the opportunity to partner with you guys. And we're absolutely certain that this will turn, not just with this campaign, but for future ones as well.
Right on. Love it.
I guess the second question in our agenda was more of like an introduction to the mechanisms of the badges. I think we've talked about it a little bit, but maybe we can morph this question with like how, if people haven't yet gotten their badge, what are the tiers and what do they need to get like an entry level badge?
I think Avi might be having
Yeah,
some
sure.
internet connectivity issues. Avi, are you?
Good question. I think I can take that. Yes, sir. I should be audible now.
Okay, perfect.
Good. Maybe we can like
Yeah, man. That's it.
let me know if it's possible to do like a screen share for either of you guys. Maybe we can go through the tiers together.
Yeah, I
Avi,
can do a
you want to
screen.
go ahead and share your screen?
Yeah. I
Perfect.
can. Just the
Awesome.
only thing is, man, the icon isn't working somehow.
So what isn't working, Avi?
The screen sharing option says you can't stream into the channel.
Sometimes stages can give issues with sharing screens, but let me see. Yeah, I'm also getting I can't stream in this channel either. Britt and Amanda, I'm assuming that if you suggested the screen share that you guys have been able to do so on stages, right?
Yes. Brit, is there not everyone can share their screen?
Do you think maybe it might have something to do with like the permission settings in the Discord server?
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute, and you can share your screen.
Oh, beautiful! I can now. The option is there. Cool. I'll get started. And in terms of setting, in terms of the badges, so there are three. Also, my Figma file is a bit of a mess. So there are three things that essentially will impact the badge. So these three things are: one, how long you take the badge for; second one is all the different tokens that you have interacted with; and the third one is the total volume. And all these different parameters, right? We can check them out in the metadata on OpenSea itself. So for the first one, also okay, we can actually, I have all the old designs pulled up. We can go have a look, share those as well. So in case of the first one, just all the different tiers. So let's just get started with how to get the first badge itself. So this is what the first badge looks like. This is the first badge, the most basic one. So in this case, all you see is what the exact tier is. And if you have staked the ACX token, this is the badge you would be able to claim for however long. Could be one day itself. But the longer you stake the badge for, so this is what your badge is going like. The more tokens you interact with, they'll show up on top left. And you can interact with as many tokens as possible. Every single token you interact with, they'll show up on the list and even in your metadata. So let's say for you will see the number of tokens in the OpenSea metadata, and that will be an on-chain aspect as well. And your day counter will keep on improving on a daily basis till you hit 100 day. So as soon as you hit 100 day, whatever, so before we get to the 100 day, so third parameter was total volume. So the more volumes you have, so we have different buckets inbuilt. So if you go check out your badge, people who have claimed the badge already, you will be able to see exactly which volume tier you have. So this is what the first volume tier looks like. If you have staked below, if the total amount of aggregating all the different tokens is below $500, this is what your badge looks like. The higher amount you stake, your badge will move to a different character. So essentially characters, they're pretty much similar, but then the nitty-gritty, the nuances of the material of the badge, like these minor changes you will see. And if we put them side by side, you will see like a huge difference. So for the character will evolve basis the volume, and after you have hit the 100-day mark, the same character, whichever character you had basis the volume, that is going to get transported to this physical space. And there is a fourth element along with it. That is if you have the special NFT or not. So let's say you were in the first year and this is the badge that you had. If you have a special NFT, your character will be holding the said special NFT as well. And the cool part is, if you had a special NFT and you stake for 100 days, the same exact character is going to move to the physical space along with your special NFT. So whichever tier you had, even now, let's say you stake for 100 days, you don't have the NFT. The moment you get the NFT, your character will be holding one, be it before or after. So all of these, so in terms of exact number of tiers, number is going to be, it's going to be a really high number, but think of it as multiple dimensions. So volume would be one dimension, number of days stake would be another dimension, number of tokens would be another dimension, and having a badge, the special NFT, that would be another one. So in terms of a total number would be, I think, it's going to be a really big number. But these are 4 dimensions on which your badge upgrades. And the coolest part is the moment you unstake, you lose all these properties. And the moment you stake back, the same journey starts again. So it's not, so your badge is going to be evolving on a daily basis based on your on-chain interaction. I hope internet did not cut off and all of it was visible. Let me know if you guys have any questions.
No, you nailed it, Avi. I like that you described it as dimensions. So the way to get it in the first place is to stake your ACX, but then from there it upgrades based on your time staked, your token staked, and your total value staked. So super cool. Oh, and the special card that you mentioned. So the way to get that is if you have the original 100 days NFT. So it pays to hold. You get cool perks and other perks.
And Britt, maybe could you explain a little bit more about the Discord roles and how those are different now?
Yeah, so I added some cool roles in here. So the way that you would claim that, so first you got to go claim your Rep3 badge, and then you can come back here and there's a channel called Collabland Join, and then you would just connect your wallet that holds the Rep3 badge, and it will assign you whatever roles you're eligible for. There's tiers 1 through 4, which reflect in the badges that Avi just showed on screen. And then there's also the 100 days of staking role, which you can get on top of that if you have been staking for at least 100 days. So you could get potentially 2 badges. One would be for your tier, and one would be if you've been staking for over 100 days.
Lovely. So yeah, hopefully if you guys have your badge, like show us. I haven't really seen a lot of people listening to my request. I'd love to see some screenshots of your badge or your updated Discord roles, and yeah, we want to see. And so the next question, maybe you can just like drop paste it in the chat or put it in general if you'd like. So the next question was, what was the design process like for these badges? Were there any hiccups? As you mentioned at the beginning of the call, you guys have been working on this for quite some time. So yeah, maybe tell us about, and this might be a fun time to show the previous badges and sort of why we didn't go with certain designs and why we chose the final ones, etc.
Yeah, I guess I can take this one. The design process was absolute blast for us. So I guess I can share my screen again. So before even any sort of direction was set, we just to put something tangible, just to showcase what it could possibly look like. So this was the first iteration of what the badges could look like. For this one, we went for the Lego one, just to build on top of the idea of composability. And of course, Legos are fun. So similar direction, except volume was not a factor. So it was going to be time and all the different tokens. So we just said that the more number of tokens you interact with, the more attributes you unlock. And after you hit the 100-day, you get transported to a physical world. And there, the background, bunch of these things, they happen in the background basis whatever you do. But then, so this was the very first direction, just as a proof of concept. And then, like us, along with Brit, we brainstormed around what the character should look like. And we did like a bunch of explorations. And after that explorations, this was the first batch that you would see the basic DNA of what the badge looked like. And after this badge, we were like, hey, these are different information we want to capture. And this is what the direction we want to go with. So with the first one, it was just supposed to be like a Rusty Warrior, similar to the 100-day NFT, like this bike rider from the future, but there is some mystery, some aura built around this. And from this particular direction, after we had like a direction set in, we went on building different tiers. So for the first one, we thought that maybe we should explore a brighter option as well, wherein the suit gets modified, different headshots were explored. So it's just a lot of image dump that we explored, and also in the software with real time, like which pose works, how far should the camera be, all these nitty-gritty details, just to figure out if the value addition is there or not. So this was the next exploration where we figured out if we should add some peripherals to the character. So you see the headset is being added, bunch of these things are being added, and just trying to bring out across branding and all these things. So with this direction, it seemed that we had moved away from some mystery that was there in the older direction. And basis this, after a bunch of exploration, we landed onto the final one. So the typography and everything, this is something that we work with across this team to get close to the branding. Before this, you see, is just typography is whatever, the branding aspects are whatever. Just get to these minor things that make the badges look like it belongs in the across ecosystem. And then there were a bunch of minor changes on the background, on the exact color we want to go with. And then just to take the exact system and to bring it in a way wherein we are able to capture all the different requirements. Because in terms of number of badges, so we had split into like a UI layer and a background layer. So there was a lot of planning that went into this, but the process was super fun. Yeah, we can see the evolution from this Lego piece all the way to the final batch that we landed with. We can see like a fair bit of evolution happened in between.
Yes, such a massive difference, say, from the Lego to very sci-fi. I don't want to say like horror, but like it makes me feel like there's something very like dark and ominous about it, which I love. I love the mystery. It's almost like an alien movie. I really love it. Can we see the original iteration of this like very special 100-day NFT holder one? I think that the differences between those two are kind of interesting as well. The first one is very silver.
Yeah, this one is it?
Yeah, and then it was like a little bit more like yellowish, and then it was like very, very strikingly silver. Yeah, those ones are cool.
Yeah, like so my other system is just filled with, I think at this point we have around 100 images.
Yeah.
So it's quite difficult. So it's all over the place, right? Because you're just exploring. So in terms of documentation, we did a horrible job. But yes, the bits, these would be the major milestones. Like a lot of things happen in between these, let's say 4 different image sets.
About the Legos until oh yeah, Amanda, there's the silvery guy.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this and just being like, whoa, we need this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Abhi's pretty talented. I like to call it out, but yeah, he's really awesome.
Thank you, but you're too kind. But yeah, it was a massive team effort wherein everyone came together on the branding, on the direction, and this was sort of the first point when we were like, this is the direction that we want to explore. And after this is when like the entire set was built out. just bringing the best of both worlds. So these were supposed to be two different directions, but then we combine them together, and both of elements or blueprints from both of these are very much visible in the current badges that are live.
They look so good. So what was your inspiration, Avi, for the design? Yeah, just because all the iterations are kind of wildly different.
Yeah, so for us, is just in terms of inspiration, Britt and I, we had a super long conversation on the direction, or rather the aesthetics we want to capture. So something in the future, someone going through sort of a motorist, but imagine a world wherein there is a lot of chaos, but there is a silver lining to it. It's sort of the empire versus the republic sort of a thing, but then this would be before sort of the empire crumbled. This was when there is a constant struggle going on, but there's a glimmer of hope, and something else is coming out on the other side. Something bright is going to coming out of the other side, and you have won the war. So just to capture that and bring the same in the character, just have a rugged look at the same time, be it in a futuristic sense. So these were the kind of things that we are exploring, and you know how it is with art, right? It's just difficult to explain a lot of these things. You just keep on going at it for some time, and you come out with a result that looks okay.
No, it looks more than okay. This looks incredible. I actually was just thinking, because when you're giving the backstory to the lore behind the design, so I was just thinking it would be if we had a funny sort of villain badge, and the on-chain activity was that they did more bridging with other bridges than across, and then they got the villain badge. That would be really funny.
That's hilarious.
That is kind of a funny idea. I was just scrolling through the OpenSea collection, and it's cool to see the diversity there. And so many people have the 100 days. People are holding their 100-day NFT. Nobody's gotten rid of it, so that's super cool. I like to see that. I would say more than half, a majority of these have that special card feature, which is cool.
Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to check my OpenSea right now. I wanted to see. I actually went to check it during the call, and I totally forgot that. Yeah, it's on Polygon. So thanks to whoever. Yeah, Britt mentioned that. Thank you. I forgot about that. So yeah, I'll post mine in here as well. Let me move on to the next question. Is there any badge that the Rep3 team particularly likes?
For me personally, it would be the highest tier badge, but the one before the 100-day. So to be very honest, I've been brainstorming how exactly to keep that badge to get to the highest tier to stake above 5. So and that's the one I want to retain. It's not the highest tier, but it's the one that I absolutely love the most, where the character is still in the dark background. So the solution I've is okay, and just taking it after 99 days and take it back again. I just need to start doing it at some point. That's my absolute favorite. Would love to know what other people think.
Yeah, me too. I'd love to hear from those in the audience. Maybe if they want to drop a note in the chat or something, we'd love to get some feedback on your design choices. Yeah, love to hear some comments.
I think I might have dropped for a second. I missed the question. Can you repeat it one more time, just in case anybody else missed it?
Oh, we were just curious on the design choices of the community, which ones they favored more than others, or any feedback for that matter from everyone in the community on the process and the entire journey so far. We'd love to just get any feedback. It'd be super, super awesome.
Yeah, totally. And one of the things that I think would be good to have feedback on is well, and actually, maybe this is just an open question for you guys. So we've built this badge, and let's say that we sort of get a lot of involvement from folks, and we end up having a ton of people in our top tier with the 100-day background, etc. Can we continue to build on top of this badge and expand it further in the future?
Yes, 100%, Brett. So right now we can, like, in each and every, we can always add new dimensions, and we can always add more tiers onto these dimensions. And this system could go on forever. We can keep on building till eternity. And that's how the system is built. Let's say for staking days, number of tokens, this is as modular as it comes. So right now we have 4 buckets. We can easily make 400.
Nice. So that's the goal, to get to from 4 buckets to 400. No, but really, it will be cool to collect some data and see like how many people fall in each tier, and if we start accumulating folks in the top tier, maybe we should encourage the building out of a next tier above that. And if we start getting people, like a ton of people in the 100 days category, maybe we expand that tier out as well and see how long we can get, or like how many different tiers. Because now we've had two different sets of 100 days staking. So I bet some people in the audience here are also in the over 200 days of staking category. So that would be something kind of cool to think about as well. But yeah, GR said we should do a silver ranger and a gold version for some future perks. I like it. Still trying to figure out what kind of perks we should do with this one. Other than having our cool Discord roles here. I did, I guess I should announce this as well. I did challenge the Rangers to get us to double our number of holders from 100 to 200. And I was looking at the Rep3 UI at the time. And I think it might still be stuck on 100 on the UI, but in OpenSea it shows over 200 now. So I owe the holders in here a little unique airdrop. So that's coming too after this call.
Well, a lot of ACX up for grabs today.
Yeah.
This was a really good day for all of you guys who joined this call. I guess that I feel like we have hit all the questions in the agenda. Seems like we've talked about some new special badges for the future, and I know at the beginning of the call we spoke about like what it meant for cross users to hold these badges, and I like the way too that Britt had mentioned like the rationale of going down this journey with the Rep3 team and being able to see in Discord. I think I like the analogy you gave once, Britt, where you were saying like if someone's coming in and kind of sharing, this is like a bit of a negative example, but some FUD about ACX, but then you see that their role is really small, you would be less inclined to like believe what they have to say, let's see, or like take it with a grain of salt, than if they had these like Rep3 on-chain activity tier badges associated with, and it seems like they've been with the community for a long time, so you trust their insights a bit more. So I like that rationale with this initiative. Hopefully you guys like it too.
Yeah, that's a great point, Amanda, and for sure, it's definitely a way for community members to flex their their OG status, if you will, throughout the community, and their accomplishments, their achievements, their participation activities, so on and so forth. I think that's a great point that you bring up. It's almost like you can look someone up and see, okay, like, how long have you been around for? Like, what have you done? Do you stake? Do you not stake? How much have you bridged? Like, totally. That's a wonderful point.
Yes. Maybe Britt or anyone like Avi or Whipper, if you guys don't mind, just like to finish off this segment, just for people who can't find their NFT or their badge on OpenSea, could we do like a quick screen share of like how to do that? I'm asking for myself too because I can't find it.
So in this case, I guess, so I ported my laptop and I don't have MetaMask on the one with which I joined the call. But what people can do is to find their specific NFT, they can just go to the across page and it'll say that you have claimed the badge. If you hover on the badge, you'll be able to see the OpenSea link there itself. You can just click on it, you will see your exact credential. what I'll do is I'll just ask someone from the team to just post a screenshot, or I myself will do it in like a second or so. So you
Okay.
just need to go over on the badge on across.rep3.gg, and you will be able to figure out your exact badges OpenSea link.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, thank you for that. Just in case people are having trouble, aka me. So yeah, I think then that was a really great call. I don't, Britt, do you have any other questions?
I don't think so. Yeah, no, I'm just really excited, and I'm excited to see like more and more of the claimed roles in the server kind of pop up. I have escalated it to like the highest visibility that I can. The only thing that trumps it is like the dev support and the Risk Labs colors. But I'm super excited about how this has worked out so far, and yeah, I'm just super stoked for this. And I am really excited about trying to give some utility to it as well. So if anybody has good ideas about a meaningful way that we can leverage these badges to give value to people who stake and across, I'm all ears.
Lovely. That being said, is Dixie on stage? Should we ask him to join?
There he is. Dix, you want to come on up and give us a quick engineering update from the week?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Success. Yeah, sorry, I'm late. I'd intended to be here quite a bit earlier, but we had a call that just ran a bit over. So like, there's a lot of progress on the UBA, and we're very, very, very close. And there's just some kind of final integration points that are being ironed out, I think. Obviously, when you get late in the picture for the rollout, like, you kind of find a few things that hadn't been addressed in the initial design, but so it's just some kind of follow-up work to cross the I's and dot the T's, or cross the T's and dot the I's. Sorry. So it's like all hands on deck for that, and yeah, it's there's a lot of progress being made at the moment. So I think we hope to come with some good news in the coming days.
Excellent. Yeah, and so it sounds like also for ZK Sync, we were sort of unsure about when we were gonna be able to launch with them, kind of pending how quickly we could do our backup audit plan there. But it sounds like kind of good news on that front, right? We're still trying to prioritize ZK Sync as our next launch.
Yes, that's definitely the plan. So there was a kind of a launch plan for ZK Sync that was dependent on the UBA. We found out kind of recently that there was a blocker, like a technical limitation that basically meant that we couldn't do that, such that we could actually get to ZK Sync without the UBA, and that we wouldn't actually rely on the UBA for that. So so that kind of changed the sequencing a little bit. But it means that the UBA and ZK Sync they're not dependent on each other in any way. So we are just waiting on a quick audit from the auditors, and then, as I understood, it should be in August that it goes live. And I think it's kind of somewhere around mid-August, I think was the time that I'd heard.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting news. I don't know if we've shared that anywhere else prior to this moment here, but good news. And thanks to our engineering team for kind of pushing on that audit. I know it was last week kind of very up in the air as to when we would get there, but we have managed to figure out a way to get there with very, very little delay from what was the original or most recent plan, I should say. So
yeah, so it's of course subject to the audit going okay, but we expect that that should be possible. So yeah, that's where things are at. I think everyone is really excited to get to ZK Sync. Obviously, it's got so much interest, there's so much hype from a user. It's like such a nice chain to use, actually. I have tried some others that have not been as smooth to use, but ZK Sync, like, it just is very, very nice from a user perspective, and I think that there will be a lot of interest for people to get over there. And I'm kind of tipping that there'll be some interest in the relayer community as well to try out relaying on ZK Sync as well. So there's definitely a lot of interest in getting there as soon as we can, but of course it needs to be done in a responsible way. And there's there are certain requirements that come with operating a bridge. So we just need to make sure that that's done in the safest way as well.
Nicely worded, Dix. Appreciate it. And with that, I think we can go ahead and start to wrap things up. Amanda, I believe that you have spun the wheel. Do you want to announce our winner?
I have I'm making a new wheel because I saw like 40 people drop out, so I'm like, okay, great. Then we can make a smaller wheel. Oh, and see the people keep dropping. So there we go. I have a new wheel opening in my browser, and now I will share my screen.
And as you do that, I'll get ready with our send-off music.
So who's our winner today? Ryther X. Congratulations. You won 25 in ECX on the wheel.
Congrats to Ryther. Yeah, this was a great call today, guys. Huge fans of Rep3. I really appreciate all the work that you guys have put in to making this across staking badge a reality. Super excited to see its adoption in the community, and really looking for some community feedback on how we can continue this badge and improve upon its utility in the across ecosystem. Thank you, as always, to my lovely co-host, Amanda. And I hope you all have a good rest of your week.
Thank you guys so much for having us on, and we appreciate the partnership, of course, and we'd love to hear from the community. We hope that this will be everything that we anticipate it to be, and a massive shout out to the Rep3 team for all of their hard work that they did on this specific project. Good job, and yeah, thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, right on. Cheers, guys. Happy Thursday.
Thank you for joining, everyone. Bye.